Ever think you could find stillness, like real inner peace, through sound?
Interesting.
That's what we're diving into today, right?
Right.
A meditation technique from the Vigyan Bhairava Tantra. It uses, get this, Sanskrit vowels as a pathway to stillness.
You know, I have to admit, when I first heard about this technique,
Yeah.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
It's not your typical meditation, right?
Totally.
But it's surprisingly approachable.
And you know, so many of us are searching for a little calm in this crazy world. I think this could be a really interesting approach.
It really is. And the Vigyan Bhairava Tantra, it's this collection of 112 meditation methods. It's kind of amazing.
112.
And what we're focusing on today is just one of those methods.
Okay, so we're not tackling all 112 today.
Not today.
So this one technique uses 12 Sanskrit vowels to kind of like guide the mind from sound to silence. It definitely piqued my interest, I gotta say.
Well, what's fascinating about this text, the Vigyan Bhairava Tantra, is that it's really grounded in these ancient yogic traditions.
Yeah.
And it explores the nature of consciousness, really emphasizing the idea of transcending the limitations of the mind.
To reach these higher states of being, right?
Exactly.
So we are talking Sanskrit vowels. Before we jump into the how-to, can you unpack that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
What are they exactly? Like, why are they significant in this whole thing?
So Sanskrit itself is an ancient Indian language. It's often called the language of yoga. And the vowels are think of them as the fundamental sounds of that language.
Okay.
Now, in this practice, each vowel is thought to have this really unique vibratory quality.
Interesting.
And it can impact us energetically.
So we're not just talking linguistics here. It's about how these sounds actually make us feel.
Precisely. You got it.
Okay.
It's about the experience of the sound, how it resonates.
All right, so how about a crash course?
Right.
How do you even say these 12 vowels?
You ready to dive into the sounds? Host speaker? Let's do it.
All right, so we've got Wia, pronounced as in ago.
Okay, got it.
Then there's A, that's A, as in father.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we have A, which is E, like in sit.
E. Okay, so subtle differences there.
Exactly. Then there's A, that one is E, but like C.
E. Okay, got it.
And then we have A, that's U as in put.
Ooh.
And A, which is U as in moon.
Ooh. So that's 6.
We are just getting started.
Wow. Okay, I'm already feeling some of those. What else is there?
Okay, so we also have A, that's a short re sound, think rig.
Wow, okay. Those are definitely not sounds we use every day.
Definitely not. Then there's a longer re, then a short li,
Uh-huh.
and one longer li.
Okay, almost there. What are the last two?
And finally, we have A, like in play, and that's O as in go. Ente. Okay, so those are our 12 vowels, each with its own, like you said, unique character. 12 vowels. A journey into sound. But what does that journey actually look like? Do we just start chanting them? Is there a method to the meditation?
Not exactly. You don't just chant them. The Vigyan Bhairava Tantra gives us a structure, a way to work with this.
Okay, so there's like a deliberate progression we move through.
Right, yeah.
So what's the first stage?
It starts with visualization. Picture the vowel, the written form of it in your mind. You're actually seeing it written out.
Interesting. Engaging the visual sense before even making a sound.
Exactly.
Okay, what comes next?
Audible chanting.
Okay, so now we bring in the sound.
Yes, but slowly and clearly.
Not just like rushing through.
No, really feeling that sound resonate.
So it's not about hitting the right note. It's about really feeling it in your whole being.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that leads us to the third stage, feeling the vibration.
Okay.
So as the sound fades, you shift your attention inward and notice how that sound kind of lingers. Not just in your ears, but maybe in your chest, your head, even like your whole energy field.
It's like that's where it really becomes meditative,
Right.
Moving beyond just that external sound and into something subtler.
Precisely.
Okay, so what's the last stage?
Finally, you rest in the silence.
In the silence?
Yes, the silence that remains.
Interesting.
Because that stillness, that's really the heart of this practice, that space that's created by moving through those stages.
So each vowel is like a mini meditation in itself.
Yeah, I like that.
This journey from sound to silence. And you're saying you repeat that 12 times for each of those vowels.
You got it.
Wow.
And what's cool is that the Vigyan Bhairava Tantra, it describes this whole process as a journey from the gross, the external sound, to the subtle, that inner stillness.
Like using a ladder.
Yeah.
Each vowel, each repetition a step towards deeper peace.
I like that analogy. And speaking of reaching higher states, this technique has some pretty profound benefits.
Okay, that's what I was hoping we'd get to. What does the Vigyan Bhairava Tantra say about, like, why this works? What's in it for the listener who decides to give this a try?
Well, for one, the text suggests that these sounds have this harmonizing effect on the nervous system.
Okay.
Remember those vibrations?
Yeah.
They can actually impact us on a physiological level,
Interesting.
helping to reduce stress, induce calm.
So it's like a sonic bath for our system.
Yeah.
Using these ancient sounds to find a bit more ease.
Exactly.
What else you got?
Well, it's also super powerful for focus and mindfulness.
Okay.
Because as you're moving through those 4 stages, you're training your attention to shift from visual to audible to the subtle vibrations, and then finally to stillness.
Like a workout for our attention span. Something we could all use a little more of these days.
Totally. But maybe the most profound benefit, and one that the Vigyan Bhairava Tantra really emphasizes, is deeper self-connect. By moving from that external world of sound into that inner space of stillness, you start to connect with a piece that's already there.
This raises a question for me. If each of these vowels has its own unique energy, could practicing this regularly actually shift our overall energy or state of being?
That's a really good question. And, while the Vigyan Bhairava Tantra doesn't come right out and say that, like, practicing these vowels will change your energy field, it does talk about the power of sound, how it can transform us. So working with these vibrations, it suggests that, we can create some pretty big shifts within ourselves.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Definitely something to explore, through your own experience.
Like we've been, unpacking this incredible map.
Right.
But the journey of actually exploring these sounds and, like, what they do, that's got to be personal.
Exactly. The Vigyan Bhairava Tantra, it offers this framework, all this ancient wisdom, but your experience of it, that's going to be totally unique to you.
Makes you wonder, with the world, constantly demanding our attention, could these ancient sounds be like a path back to ourselves, back to a place of peace? Could they?
It's certainly possible. And what I love about the Vigyan Bhairava Tantra is that it reminds us, like, there are so many paths to that inner peace. This technique we've been talking about, the Sanskrit vowels, it's just one path, one way to connect with that silence.
And maybe that's the takeaway. It's not about finding the one right way to meditate.
Right.
It's about exploring, seeing what works for you.
I think that's beautifully said. The Vigyan Bhairava Tantra really encourages that, exploration, experimentation. Try it out, see what happens.
So to our listeners, if this deep dive has sparked your curiosity even a little bit, find a quiet space, revisit those Sanskrit vowels, and just see what happens.
Exactly. You might just discover your new favorite meditation.
There you go.
Or maybe just a deeper sense of stillness, a little more peace.
And on that note, we will leave you to explore those soundscapes. Until next time.